Hello, my name is Ahmed Demiai, and today this is my video to show you the big data. This is to show you the project for our big data program. Okay, so we're gonna start. Okay, so this is the report. First of all, we need to install and set up our HBase Docker. We are using Docker Desktop. This is our containers, and this is our images. We're gonna be using this image called Harris Con. Okay, so we need to set up our the Docker container. I prefer to use the code line, and not the Docker software, Docker Desktop, because it gives me more capacity to activate ports and do things like that. So as you can see, we go here to our image. This is our image. You can click on run and start the Docker container, but I prefer using the Docker Desktop, but prefer to use the command line. So as you can see here, we can copy the command line to and we can expose the port 16010, 9090 and 9095. Port 16010 is for HBase Web UI, 9090 is for Thrifty, and 1995 is for Thrifty 2. We need to expose these ports so we can have a connection between our Docker container and the local host. So yeah, we can copy that. Also to set up the Docker, we just copy that. We in our command line, and we have our Docker container loaded and ready to go. As you can see, after we execute that, this is the HBase UI. We still didn't launch our code. We still didn't launch our Docker container, so we're gonna copy the code. We're gonna test it. We're not gonna execute it because we already have our Docker container image. Since we already did that. So as you can see, this is explanation of all this command, and you can see it in the report. Now we go to our Docker Desktop. We check containers. I already built the container. Yeah. So this is the all ports that we are sharing with our local host. We just click on start and we launch our Docker container, right? We should click yes. When we click, we see the logs. All right. Now we should go to check our HBase UI to see if it's working or not. This is to confirm that everything is working right. Okay, so now everything is working right. Yes, it's loading. Perfect. Yes, perfect. As you can see, okay, we have three regions. Okay, perfect. You can set up the region servers with the bash region servers.sh, local region server.sh, and you add 2 3 4 5. You add however numbers you want to have, like, as region servers, right? And this is how you can access the HBase web, right? Okay, perfect. Now everything is working. Yeah, the HBase web UI is working. Perfect. Yes. Now I need to check. I'm going to check if the connection with Thrifty is working. So I did put test.python small connection to the database, to our HBase database, to see if everything is working or not. So we launch our Python test. Okay, we see we have an error. What's the error? I think it's the number of the port, 9080. Our Thrifty is 9090. Okay, so 9090. Okay, launch it again. Nope. Okay, Python test of Python. I think we still have an error because we didn't save the file, right? Okay, now we save the file. We launch again. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, perfect. It shows the name of our table, B readings. Perfect, it's connecting, it's working, everything is on point. Right, now we go to our load.tool.python. This is the tool where we're going to be using, but first we go to create tables. Okay, we already have our table existing in our how do you call it, in our database, in our HBase, right? So we need to remove that. How can we remove the database? We are gonna see, okay, in our code implementation part, we have two tables: create tables.hb shell and drop tables.hb shell. Okay, we can those files, we have two options. Like, we can either paste those files in a folder and then we copy them into our Docker image, or we can just like copy and paste the code inside it in our how do you call it, HBase shell. Okay, we check who am I, we are inside our Docker image. Okay, now we check HBase shell, we launch our HBase shell, and now we can execute our how do you call it, our commands to delete the table readings. We want to create a new one, an empty one. Okay, so disable readings. First we disable the table, then we delete it. Drop readings to delete it. Perfect. Now we go check in our HBase UI. Okay, we have the table, one table. Now, okay, we don't have any table anymore. That's perfect. Now we need to create our table again. Okay, so let's create a table in our HBase shell. We drop create readings. Okay, successfully created. Perfect. One table, readings. Nice. Okay, we check our table. Yeah, everything is working perfect. Nice. Readings, details, readings. Okay, as you can see, it's empty. We have 0 requests. The size is 0 bytes. Perfect. Yeah. Now we start with our Python tools. First of all, we have our load tool. What does this tool? What's the role of this tool? This tool is going to be generating for us and implementing for us the table readings. So as you can see, it's gonna implement it using the bootstrap method, which takes our set file, okay, CSV, and using the bootstrap method, it's going to multiply and transform the content of this file into a big data type of size. So it's gonna read each line, build row keys. It's gonna insert measurements and measurements, and then it's gonna batch the information in our database, in our table, right? So as you can see, open, it reads the file, it checks if there is any any missing measures. Okay, it finds if there is any problems like empty rows or things like that. Yeah, as you can see, it's going to implement the measures. Yeah, and it's gonna batch at the end. It's gonna batch into the table, right? Then it's going to, this is where we call the database, we connect the database, and then we call the function to implement the bootstrapping, and then fill inside the table. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, this is the command line of how you can execute it. We're gonna do f equal 5 and c equal 5, right? This is the command line. I'm gonna it's gonna take a little bit of time to execute, as you can see. So I'll probably pause it and come back when it's finished, right? As you can see, the number of write requests 124,000, 204,000, the file is still, the table size is still 0, but as you can see, 60 mega. Okay, and it's going up, write request like 300,000 lines already. Okay, we pause. Yeah, and we come back quickly. As you can see, it's still working. Now we will back once it's finished, as you can see. And now let's check our HBase UI. Okay, as you can see, the size is 1 gigabyte, 1.18 gigabytes. We had around 3 million, we have 2 region servers, and we had around 3 million written requests, right? Perfect. Now our loading tool is working perfectly as we request and as we wanted. Now let's check our extracting tool, right? So yeah, as you can see, this is how we use our extract tool. We use f equals 3, c equals 3. Okay, we have our consumption. What it does is it connects to HBase, it scans each rows, it reads the measurements, and it gives us a flat file called consumption.csv. Okay, the file contains sensors, date, time, and the measurements from 1 until 140, I think, or 148. So it shows all the measurements from the time. Okay, so let's go and execute it and see what it does. So let's quickly check what's the result. And as you can see, just finished, and it gives us consumption.txt, right? So let's open consumption.txt. It's up there. Yeah, as you can see, the file is homogeneous, it's working. It gives us like basically 57,000 lines. As you can see, there is no 1 2 before DG, there is no numbers, perfectly, and as you can see, the size. Yeah, so this is exactly what we were looking for in our project. This is the results we wanted to have. As you can see, this is the HBase UI. Now let's explain our pipeline overview. We had our raw data in our CSV. We executed load tool.python, and we had our readings table. Okay, now we take our readings table and we use extract tool to call for information from readings table, and we get our consumption.txt, right? So as a result, after this whole procedure, this is the final we received. We receive the result as readings is as a table, and it's the result of our raw data from our CSV being bootstrapped by the load tool Python. Also, we receive a consumption.txt, which is result. Thank you.